Awesome. Hey everybody, it's Amanda here, author of The Insightful Parent, and Rebecca Argentine, strategic life coach. So we are here discussing the third section of the book titled Results, and chapter 7 is all about hope. So the idea of results and hope being the first of that section is really, it goes back to our last conversation, is trusting the process. It's if you do A and B, then you can expect C. So a better C, yeah. And so one of the things you can, through whether it's grabbing a life coach or, just processing through the book with other parents who want to grow in the process, you can develop hope, and hope is that, holding on to a better tomorrow sort of thing. I think a world without hope is pretty gloomy.
Yes, definitely.
So I think no matter what our situation is, we have to have it. We have to find something that gives us that cornerstone of hope.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you had a lot of great things that I wrote down here about hope. One of the things you said, basically with your hope, is let go of trying to control too many things. Accept the things that I have little power over, and those I have no power over, and find the hope. Again, once you are starting this process and you start getting the skills and you start finding other ways of doing things, you can find the hope. And allowing to let go of the little things that just cause you stress, and you went, why?
Yeah.
Why did I just worry over that? Why? So dinner's not on time, or, the house is a little dirty, or I didn't get laundry done, or little things. And, you said here, hope is acceptance, choice, is light to being insightful, and allowing you to begin to take charge of your life regardless of the circumstances. That's pretty powerful because, hope is a choice, but it's also the light. It's
twofold.
It is, and it's the being insightful and just realizing that I can take charge of it. Like we talked about earlier, I can take charge of if somebody does something to me, I can take charge of how I deal with it, and I can have the hope. And that also is like a balance. You said the precise balance between relinquishing control over things you're powerless over and accepting control over the things that you can't. We can't control other people.
No.
As much as we want to think we can, we can't. And why do we want to? The only person we control is ourselves, and that's who we got to try to be. Is just learning to be the better self. That way. In a way, well, I guess I kind of could take that back, because to a point we can kind of not really technically control somebody else, but if you walk in a room and you're happy, and you smile, how much
we can influence for sure.
Exactly. Okay, so there is that hope.
And acknowledging the power that you have.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's power, that light side of
that light side, that insight going, okay, I can walk into the situation either perceiving or going, okay, it's going to be this way because it's always been this way, or I can change my way of how I think and go in, and it can change the whole room or the whole whatever. That little bit of kindness just in whatever can change somebody's day. Smile. They say it takes less muscles to smile. But my problem is my resting, my resting, that kind of stuff. It feels like it takes more to smile, but it really doesn't. And just smiling makes at least myself feel better, and I think it does make other people better. So when you have that hope, the other thing that I just love this, it shatters negative thinking and it grants grace and peace. That's powerful. Give yourself permission to fail, and accept hope is ready for you whenever you are. And it's kind of like giving yourself the permission to know, okay, I made a mistake. That's fine. We're all going to make mistakes. But it's not a mistake or a failure if you learn from it. And that's the biggest thing. Whether you're reading this book, which is a great book, or you're hiring your life coach, or whatever you're doing, accept that we've made the mistakes along the way. Don't live with the feelings of guilt and shame. Have that hope. Have that hope that you're making the right step to do the right thing, and it can give you grace and power. You become empowered. And that's one of my things with my Embrace, Empower, and Energize, my whole thing that I have of how you can kind of look at life. And, you know, the whole chapter of hope was like, yes.
Yeah.
It was refreshing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks. I think it's cool, and the way you're perceiving it, and I don't even know if I get to it, but the idea that hope chooses not to identify ourselves by our actions.
Exactly.
You know, hope acknowledges both the good and the bad, but I'm
Right.
not identified by anything I've
Right.
done or
Right.
anything that's been done to me.
Right.
It is that choice, and it's that circle of control, and any you can Google it and find it. But the circle of control, right? It's like I'm in control of A, B, C,
Right.
and D, and
Right.
when you know, hope is almost the antidote to anxiety.
Well, it is. And we got to realize is life's not always going to be wonderful. Yeah. It isn't.
No.
I mean, life's not fair.
Mm-mm.
It can stink really bad
Absolutely.
sometimes. But when you have the hope that you're strong enough to get through it,
Yep.
and you have the tools to get through it, that's pretty powerful.
Yep.
That's where you get the grace and peace going, okay, this was thrown at me. It really stinks right now, but I know how to get out of it.
Absolutely.
And that's the main thing, is making sure you get out of it as less scarred or, you know.
Yeah,
We're all gonna
stronger
have our
than you
stronger
came
than you
in.
came in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly. So,
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks.
you're welcome.
All right. So that's chapter 7, and Amanda and Rebecca, and we'll catch you again soon.